So we're looking here at how AI could help with quality assurance. At our live event in Bath, we asked our attendees to come along with challenges that they thought we could build prototypes that AI could solve. And this was one of the challenges from that event that went all the way through to become a prototype. And we demoed that prototype at that event, and we'll demo it again now for you. So here, in terms of the challenge presented was that organizations can struggle with the sheer quantity of templates, particularly Word templates that are being filled in by project teams. And could AI be used to quality assure documents that are templates that are filled in and then uploaded? So the problem statement you can see there, there's lots of documents going up. It's various quality. You want to make sure everyone's using the template correctly, putting in the right content. It's kind of hard to solve traditionally because of the sheer volume. You literally need someone to manually check. And it clearly lends itself quite well to an AI-based solution.
Yeah,
so,
it definitely does. One thing I will add, which we always make this point, and we're going to probably make this point about 10 times in the video, is that this is not, we're not suggesting this as a replacement for that human evaluation, that human feedback. This is, as ever with anything AI, there still needs to be a human in the loop. There still needs to be the human assurance as well. This is just part of a larger assurance package, essentially.
That's right. Yeah. And in fact, one of the I put a few example possible questions at the end of this demo. And in there, a few questions around, is this just going to replace manual checks or not? Or is we just going to live alongside them? So before I hand over to Mark and go into the demo, if you've got questions, there's a questions tab where you can type in questions. I think my colleague Tom is putting instructions in the chat. I'm also going to put a poll live now. Which it would be great if you could vote on that. So essentially, we're asking, you've read that problem statement and the solution. Is this something you sympathize with? Is it important to your organization? I'll leave that vote up there while Mark goes through it. You might change your mind how you feel about it when you see the demo, but feel free to vote. That would be really helpful. We can see whether this is something that is of interest to everyone. Okay, so Mark, I think we go straight into the demo now. Let's have a look at it.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so here we have a grid for a project within MethodGrid. It's got all the usual stuff, all your stages, all of your themes, and within this grid, there's different elements that require us to upload a document to evidence that we've done the task that's been assigned to us. And we're going to see that we're going to use this template assurance to give us feedback on the document that we're presenting as evidence that we've uploaded the task. And it's going to give us feedback on whether or not that document conforms to the template we've given it. So firstly, we're going to look at this strategic brief element. And you can see here, I'm assigned to this. And it's got all the usual things you'd have in this sort of element, definitions and hints and tips, purpose of the deliverables, things like that. One of the things here is this template. And this is the template for what Jody was just talking about. And I would be expected to fill in for this deliverable. I'll quickly show you what the template looks like. So this is our strategic brief template. It's got a list of sections here. These are all the sections that I need to fill in to generate my strategic brief. For each of the sections, it then has a description of what should be in there. It's got some examples, it's got some quality criteria of specifically what should be in this section. I'm not going to read them all out in detail, but you can see, it's got all these different sections, and for each of them, a description of what should be there and some quality criteria that my upload document needs to conform to. And I will quickly now show you the document that I'm going to be uploading. So this has been written based on that template for a specific project. It's got all the same sections. It's got the project's vision and objectives here. Got the scope and the scale, and this is quite a good example of a strategic brief document. So hopefully we're going to get some good feedback from the AI on it. So here I have this task to upload this document, and this is a feature that's in MethodGrid now, that you have to evidence certain tasks before you're allowed to complete them. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to upload that file that I've just shown you. And what's going to start happening now is the file's going to be uploaded, and the AI is going to start having a look at it. It's going to compare it to the template we have in the elements. And there we go, it's already started. And what it's going to do, here we go. It's given us an overall kind of judgment based on how well we've conformed to the template. It says we have done it pretty well. You can see it there on the task in the element. It's given us a score for each of these different criteria. So the template compliance, how well does it conform to the structure of the template? The section compliance, how well does each section of the document I've given it? How well does each section conform? What should be in there? A readability score, given us a slightly lower readability score. And then the quality criteria, how well does the document conform to the quality criteria that's in the template? And then here it's got a summary of the overall feedback. I'm not sure how well people can read this on the screen, so I'll read out a bit of it. So the overall summary it's given us, the project brief adheres closely to the template, effectively covering all required sections with clear and comprehensive content. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but you can see it's pretty good feedback. It's given us a couple of tasks that it thinks that could be improve it. So it's given us consider adding a section on lessons learned from similar projects to enhance the risk management strategy. It's a pretty good task. Ensure all sections are consistently formatted for better readability. You can see there it's given us a slightly lower readability score, and then it's given us a task for make sure it's formatted consistently across all the sections. And then for each of the sections in the document, it's given us a bit more detailed feedback. So it's gone through all of the sections that are in the template. I'll just quickly switch back so you can see.
Do you want to zoom in a bit, Mark, on the word?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so you can see in the template here, it's got project vision, objectives, scope and scale, budget and funding, and then in the template, in the feedback it's given us, it's gone through each of those sections and it's given us specific feedback for each of those sections. So the project and vision objectives, it's telling us the project brief clearly articulates the vision and objectives, aligning with the template requirements, define overarching goals and intended outcomes. It addresses sustainability, inclusivity, and future adaptability, which are key quality criteria outlined in the template. So you can see it's not just looking at the document I've given it, it's actually looking at the template as well. It's looking at what the quality criteria is for each of the sections, and it's specifically referencing the quality criteria in the template when it's giving us our feedback. And so that's the overall thing. I do have another quick example to give you. Jodie, I don't know if you've got anything to add to that before we kind of move on. I know we've got a ton of designs to kind of show people and stuff as well.
Yeah, so also you'll see there's all sorts of buttons on Mark's screen. We'll take through what some of those could do. For the purposes of the prototype, though, we really just wanted to have to demo that the AI can take your Word template, and within that Word template, you've actually given the AI the guidance it needs in order to check the template. So it's receiving one that's been filled in by a team member, and it's comparing that to some good quality criteria, and it's giving you that report at the end. I think would agree fairly instantly.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what you've just said. A really good point. Is that the criteria it's judging it on is also being provided by you. That's not something we have added. It's getting it from the template you have uploaded and comparing it to the document you have uploaded. Yeah, so you are completely in control of the template and of the criteria it's being judged against. Yeah, that's a really good point. So I'll show you another quick example now as well, because the reason I think it's important to kind of show this example is whenever this is a problem with AI generally. It was quite a big bit of news about a month or so ago. OpenAI released a new version of ChatGPT and then sort of very quickly withdrew it. And the reason was because when people were using it, what they found it was just massively sycophantic. So it would just agree with almost anything the user said, or it would give really positive feedback about anything the user said, regardless of how good it actually was. And this is a problem with AI models generally. They have a bit of a tendency to be quite sycophantic. It's quite a well-known thing. I mean, there are technical reasons for it. I won't go into them in too much detail, but essentially there's a bit of there's a phase of AI model training that's called reinforcement learning through human feedback, where AI essentially gives humans two different options and they have to select which one they prefer. And then based on the human's choices, the AI starts to learn, okay, this is how I should respond. The problem you can kind of get into with that is if you give a person two different responses and one of them agrees with them and one doesn't, or one of them gives positive feedback and one of them gives negative, people are probably going to prefer the positive one. And so the AI essentially just learns, oh, I should always be really positive. I should always agree with what the person said, which obviously is a problem, especially if you're using the AI to give you hopefully objective, honest feedback on a document. So this is something we're sort of very aware of, especially when we're building something like this that's specifically designed to give people feedback. We want to check for that. We want to kind of guard against that sycophantic AI behavior. So another quick example I'm going to show you here is the opposite of what we've just seen. It's a document that we have put together, which, as you can see, does not in any way conform to the template that it's supposed to. It's got a lot of spelling mistakes in it. The project overview says we are doing something with an old building by the water in Liverpool. It's going to be turned into like flats or shops or something. It's important because it's old and we want to use it again. Now,
just before we upload that one, sorry, there's a quick question in the chat for someone who joined late. So they're just asking, I just joined, do we have to upload the completed template and then it will be scoring evaluated? So you'll actually see that now. So you'll see that in the second example. But in MethodGrid, you can put in the element, you can put the template itself. And on our prototype is just finding that template and realizing that's the one you're using and that's the one it's comparing it to. And then our tasks some tasks can require a document to be uploaded as evidence that it's been completed. So it's in our prototype, it's at that point that you upload it that it's getting that score.
Yeah, exactly. So this is, within MethodGrid here, this is one of the elements. This would have been prepared, by the project manager, and they will have uploaded templates to say when the person working on this comes to complete this task, this is the template they need to conform to. And yeah, as Jody was just saying, this idea of requiring evidence is already featured in MethodGrid. So I, as the person delivering the thing, when I come along and I go to upload my documents, which I'm going to do here, the AI is now going to start giving me some feedback on it again, and it hopefully isn't going to be positive, because it certainly shouldn't be. Yeah, can you see here, it's given us an overall major non-conformance, given us some pretty low scores for each of these sections. Some of the feedback here, project brief requires significant improvement to align with the template. Key sections such as design and technical requirements are missing. Existing sections lack detail and specificity. And then it's given us a longer list of tasks that it wants us to do. And you can see here as well, the fact that one of the sections, it's referenced sections that are missing. It's not just giving us feedback based on the document we've uploaded. It's clearly looking at the template because it's picked out something that's missing that should be in from the template that isn't in the document we've uploaded. So yeah, like I said, that's, I think, just an important example to show that it's giving us feedback based on the document. If the document's bad, it's going to tell us the document's bad, essentially. But conversely, if the document's good, it's going to tell us as well. So if there's anything else to add on those demos there before we move on.